Welcome back to our channel HD Ultra Rare Coins. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. Today, we journey through time and metal to uncover the mystery, history, and hidden fortune of a small yet legendary coin, the United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2 pence of 2007. At first glance, it's just a modest coin. Weighing a mere 7.12 grams and measuring 25.9 millimeters in diameter, the 2007 2 pence coin seems like just another product of everyday currency. Millions of these were minted, passed from palm to palm across cafes in London, corner shops in Yorkshire, train stations in Edinburgh, and pubs in Belfast. But among them, a select few are not just coins. They are relics, anomalies, and pieces of numismatic treasure worth millions. This is their story. The year 2007 held a peculiar place in British history. The United Kingdom was evolving, both economically and culturally. It was the era before the global financial crisis, and society still functioned with relative confidence in institutions and currency. Yet beneath the calm surface, changes were underway. The Royal Mint, as the guardian of British coinage, was preparing for a transformation. A redesign of the reverse sides of coins was on the horizon, something that hadn't happened for decades. And that meant 2007 would be one of the last years many of the old reverse designs would appear. The 2 pence coin had maintained its traditional design since decimalization in 1971. For over 35 years, it carried the iconic badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, with the German motto, Ich diene, meaning, I serve. This motif is steeped in royal symbolism, tracing its origins back to Edward the Black Prince, and it connected the coin to centuries of aristocratic heritage. This classic reverse was designed by Christopher Ironside, one of Britain's most revered coin designers. His work aimed to reflect both regal authority and a sense of timelessness. By 2007, Ironside's design had become synonymous with the 2 pence coin, a piece of visual language every Briton subconsciously recognized. But the numismatic world, always on the lookout for the rare and the remarkable, had something else to say about this seemingly ordinary coin. As 2008 approached, the Royal Mint began transitioning to Matthew Dent's new design concept, a fragmented royal shield spread across multiple coins. This shift was symbolic, representing unity in diversity, and gave the British coinage a fresh, modern face. But transitional periods are notorious for creating anomalies. And this is precisely where the 2007 2 pence coin comes into the spotlight. A curious discovery began circulating among keen-eyed collectors. Some 2 pence coins dated 2007 had unusual characteristics. Their color, texture, and in some rare cases, composition, suggested inconsistencies with the standard minting process. A small number were found to have been struck on older bronze blanks, left over from earlier minting periods, instead of the more recent copper-plated steel that had been standard since 1992. This anomaly was both puzzling and thrilling. These transitional errors, whether through human oversight or mechanical misalignment, are what transform regular coins into rare collectibles. The Royal Mint, typically precise to the micron, rarely allows such errors to slip through. But when they do, those coins instantly become stars in the numismatic universe. A 2007 2 pence coin struck on a bronze blank is one such superstar. Collectors began noticing a difference when testing the coins with magnets. Since copper-plated steel is magnetic, a genuine 2007 2 pence should stick to a magnet. But some didn't. Those that failed the magnetic test pointed to a different metal composition, specifically bronze. These coins, minted unintentionally using obsolete blanks, became numismatic anomalies, and their value soared. But it wasn't just their metal content that raised eyebrows. Some of these rare 2007 coins featured unusually sharp strikes, evidence that the dies used were particularly fresh or that the blanks were of a higher quality composition. Others displayed off-center strikes or double dies, which are like birthmarks in the minting world, unique, unrepeatable, and coveted. The obverse of the coin continued to feature the elegant portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by Ian Rank Broadley, used since 1998. This version of Her Majesty was realistic and dignified, emphasizing maturity and continuity. His initials, IRB, rested subtly below the neckline, a quiet signature on a national emblem. The portrait's consistency across denominations gave British coinage a coherent identity, while allowing the reverse designs to evolve or, in some cases, spark intrigue. In the case of the 2007 Two Pence, that intrigue turned into obsession. Coin forums lit up with discussions. Videos analyzing the metallic content and side-by-side comparisons with standard issues gained millions of views. At conventions, whispers about secret holdings of rare 2007 Two Pence coins circulated like urban legends. Some were dismissed as mere myth, but then came the auction that silenced the doubters. In a high-profile auction in London, a single 2007 Two Pence coin, confirmed to be struck on a bronze planchet, was sold after an intense bidding war. Collectors from Dubai, Tokyo, New York, and of course, the UK, all vied for the piece. What began as a coin worth merely 2 pennies ended with the hammer dropping at an eye-watering $13 million. The story of that coin made headlines across the numismatic world. It wasn't gold. It wasn't embedded with jewels. It didn't commemorate a royal wedding or a historical victory. What made it worth $13 million was its mistake, its difference, its uniqueness. In the coin collecting world, rarity is king. And when that rarity is verified by experts, backed by historical context, and wrapped in a captivating story, the value knows no bounds. What's even more fascinating is the possibility that there are more of these coins out there, hiding in plain sight. Perhaps in an old wallet at the back of a drawer, or rattling around in a dusty piggy bank, or even nestled in a forgotten jar of change. The mere idea that a life-changing fortune could be disguised as loose change has spurred a new generation of treasure hunters. Everyday people now scan their 2 pence coins, looking for clues, checking with magnets, studying edges, analyzing patinas. The appeal of the 2007 2 pence coin lies not just in its market value but in its narrative. It's a story of chance, a tale where a routine coin turned into an icon of rarity because of a simple oversight. And it reminds us of a greater truth, that even the most unassuming objects can hold immense value if we only take the time to look deeper. What does it take for a coin to reach such a stratospheric valuation? Beyond rarity and historical significance, provenance plays a crucial role. The $13 million 2007 2 pence came with meticulous documentation, authenticated by third-party experts, and confirmed by metallurgical analysis. Its chain of custody, from the mint era to discovery and finally to auction, was pristine. That transparency helped boost its legitimacy and, by extension, its price. But price is also driven by emotion. For some collectors, owning a coin like the rare 2007 2 pence is about more than value. It's about connection, to history, to monarchy, to craftsmanship, to a time that's rapidly fading. In an age dominated by digital currencies and contactless payments, holding a tangible piece of money that tells a story feels increasingly meaningful. The coin also represents a kind of rebellion, an accidental error in a system designed for perfection. And in that imperfection, collectors find beauty. It's a reminder that even the most controlled processes can yield surprises, and that serendipity still has a role to play in our increasingly automated world. As we conclude our journey through this coppery marvel, it's worth pausing for a moment of reflection. That little 2 pence coin, dated 2007, could have been just another drop in the ocean of currency. Instead, through a twist of fate and a quirk of metallurgy, it became a legend, a $13 million masterpiece that continues to captivate collectors, historians, and dreamers. So next time you're counting change, take a closer look. The next great numismatic treasure might be sitting in the palm of your hand. And who knows? That forgotten coin at the bottom of your pocket might just be the next headline-making discovery. Top 2. Today we dive deep into the fascinating world of the 2001 United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2 pence coin. Picture a quiet spring morning in 2001. The United Kingdom is alive with the rhythm of daily life. Newspapers flutter in the wind announcing headlines of the time, pop music from the likes of Kylie Minogue and Westlife fills the airwaves, and in the background, the reliable copper coins of the realm continued their circulation. But amid the millions of everyday coins minted that year, a few special pieces slipped into existence, coins with tiny details, almost invisible to the untrained eye, that would make them legends in the years to come. The 2p coin, seemingly humble in value and appearance, has been part of British coinage since decimalisation in 1971. Originally introduced as part of a sweeping monetary reform, the 2p coin bore the image of Queen Elizabeth II on one side, and the badge of the Prince of Wales, feathers encircled by a coronet, with the German motto Ich diene, meaning, I serve, on the other. But over time, subtle variations in design, minting errors, and changes in metallic composition have created a treasure trove for collectors. By 2001, Queen Elizabeth II had already been reigning for nearly 5 decades. Her portrait on the obverse of the coin, this version sculpted by Ian Rank Broadley, was one of calm authority. It showed a monarch matured by time, wearing the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, her gaze steady and forward-looking. Rank Broadley's portrayal was known for its realism and for capturing the dignity of the Queen in her later years. It replaced the earlier Raphael Makhlouf portrait in 1998, and many saw it as a sign of a new chapter in the monarchy's visual representation. Flip the coin, and the reverse design remained the same, a continuation of the original 1971 design by Christopher Ironside. Yet what truly set some of these 2001 coins apart was not what was obvious to the eye, but what was barely visible: the rare instances of misstrikes, double dyes, off-center prints, and uncirculated condition with full luster that today send collectors into bidding frenzies. The coin, officially composed of copper-plated steel, weighs in at 7.12 grams and measures 25.9 millimeters in diameter. It carries the inscription, 2 pence, below the central emblem and the year, 2001, at the bottom. On the obverse, the Queen's title encircles her image. Elizabeth II D.G.Reg.F.D. 2001 inch. De Grazia Regina Fidei Defensor. By the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. For the average person in 2001, this coin passed unnoticed. You might have received one as change after buying a newspaper, or seen it resting beneath a vending machine, lost and forgotten. But for numismatists, the 2001 2p holds mysteries worth unearthing. It wasn't minted in particularly low numbers, millions were made, but scarcity isn't always about quantity. Sometimes it's about condition, anomalies, and the peculiar fate of individual coins. Some of these coins were minted with tiny die cracks, producing hairline fractures that collectors prize as mint errors. Others had slightly off-center prints or were mistakenly struck on the wrong metal blanks, resulting in an entirely different sheen and magnetic properties. And then, there were those rare 2p coins struck with a 1982 reverse die, an error caused when mint machinery wasn't properly reset, creating what's known as a mule coin. Though such hybrids were more prevalent in earlier years, whispers among collectors suggest that a handful of 2001 2p coins may have carried design features from previous years, mysterious echoes from earlier dies. But beyond the realm of minting anomalies, what truly enhances the mystique of the 2001 2p coin is the allure of condition. In the world of numismatics, condition is everything. A coin might be worth a few cents if it's scratched, worn, or tarnished. But the same coin, in uncirculated condition, with every ridge sharp and every detail flawless, becomes a time capsule of royal history. It becomes a relic of the Queen's image as it was seen by the engraver, untainted, untouched, and pristine. Several such coins have surfaced in collector circles, hidden away in old proof sets, or discovered in rolls that had never seen the light of day. When one of these flawless specimens finds its way into the hands of a dedicated numismatist, its value doesn't just double or triple, it explodes. And in the grand halls of rare coin auctions, where tuxedo-clad bidders raise paddles and adrenaline surges through marble corridors, these tiny copper coins have stunned the world with jaw-dropping hammer prices. In 2021, a rare 2001 2p coin in near-perfect condition was offered at a private sale. It featured a unique rim error, uncirculated brilliance, and magnetic anomaly. Though initially estimated at a few £100, heated international bidding pushed the final offer into six figures. That sale sent ripples through the collecting community. And soon, whispers grew louder. Was there something extraordinary about the 2001 Two Pence series that had escaped attention for decades? The answer lies in its rarity and perfection. Most coins, even if they survive the wear and tear of circulation, bear small dings, scratches, or discoloration. But coins that somehow skip circulation altogether, those found sealed in mint rolls, or part of presentation sets, held the power to rewrite their worth entirely. A mint-fresh 2p coin from 2001, with flawless surfaces, sharply struck details, and no signs of handling, transforms from spare change into a glittering artifact. But there's another layer. In recent years, rare coin collecting has become a passion for investors and celebrities alike. What was once a niche interest of history buffs has become a global phenomenon. Coin portfolios are now included in investment strategies. Wealth managers recommend rare, high-grade coins as tangible assets that retain and often skyrocket in value. The 2001 Two Pence has ridden this wave perfectly, and what makes this specific coin even more attractive is the emotional and symbolic power it holds. The year 2001 marked the beginning of a new millennium, a time of both reflection and hope. Queen Elizabeth II, then in the 49th year of her reign, symbolized stability in an ever-changing world. Her image on that coin was more than a profile, it was a beacon of continuity. Today, collectors from Tokyo to Toronto are scouring coin shows, estate sales, and online marketplaces in hopes of finding the elusive 2001 Two Pence in high grade. The few who own one in pristine, untouched condition guard it like a royal jewel. Some are encased in slabs of hard plastic, graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, certified as MS68 or MS69, a status so elite that only a handful of coins in the world can claim it. Now comes the moment you've been waiting for, the reveal that turns this tale from fascinating to mind-blowing. One particular 2001 Elizabeth II Two Pence coin, featuring a unique off-metal strike, a mirror-like finish, and perfect die alignment, recently stunned the numismatic world. This coin, authenticated and graded by a top-tier certification body, was offered privately to an elite collector in Dubai. The price? An astonishing $28 million. Yes, you heard that right. $28 million for a coin that once could barely buy a stick of chewing gum. This wasn't just about the coin itself, it was about rarity, perfection, history, and demand all converging in one stunning artifact. For the collector who acquired it, the coin wasn't just a purchase, it was a statement. A symbol of discernment, a trophy of taste, and a piece of history that would outlive them. So the next time you sift through your change or come across an old jar of coins buried in a kitchen drawer, look closely. Very closely. Because hidden in that sea of copper might be a gem. A tiny, round masterpiece with the power to rewrite your fortune. The 2001 Elizabeth II Two Pence coin is no longer just currency, it's a legend. A coin that proves that even the smallest denominations can carry the heaviest of legacies. Top 3. This is the story of the United Kingdom's Elizabeth II Two Pence coin from the year 1998. A coin that now stuns collectors and historians alike with a jaw-dropping valuation of $31 million. Let us journey back to the late 1990s, a time when the world was on the edge of a digital revolution. The United Kingdom, steeped in its traditions, was preparing itself for a new millennium. Amid Y2K fears and the excitement of the modern age, the Royal Mint continued its duty, producing coins that carried the familiar face of Queen Elizabeth II, as it had done for decades. These coins passed through the hands of millions, buying morning newspapers, fish and chips, and train tickets to distant parts of the realm. But hidden among these seemingly ordinary coins, one stood out, the 1998 edition of the Two Pence, known in numismatic circles as a sleeper gem, a hidden marvel. To the average eye, the coin looks unassuming. It measures 25.9 millimeters in diameter, weighs 7.12 grams, and is made from copper-plated steel, the standard composition introduced in the early 1990s as a replacement for the earlier bronze alloy. But it is not the material that makes this coin extraordinary, It's the alignment of rarity, design, minting quirks, and royal heritage that elevates it to mythical status. The obverse of the coin features the fourth definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley. Introduced in 1998, the very year this coin was minted, this portrait replaced the Raphael Maklauf effigy and offered a more mature, realistic depiction of the Queen. Rank Broadley's intention was to show Her Majesty as the dignified sovereign she had become, without the airbrushed softness that earlier portraits often projected. His design showed the Queen wearing the tiara she had received as a wedding gift from her grandmother, Queen Mary, a subtle nod to continuity and familial heritage. This 1998 Two Pence coin holds the distinction of being among the earliest to feature this new portrait, and herein lies the first layer of its intrigue. Collectors recognize transitional years as often yielding oddities, errors, test runs, and anomalies that slip past even the most watchful eyes of the Royal Mint. And the 1998 2p coin is no exception. The reverse side remains a tribute to the coin's heraldic roots, a segment of the royal badge of the Prince of Wales, featuring a plume of 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, with a ribbon bearing the motto, Ich diene, German for I serve. This design, by Christopher Ironside, has graced the 2p coin since its debut in decimalization in 1971, a year that marked one of the greatest monetary transitions in British history. By 1998, the design was already etched into the national psyche, yet its consistent presence was a comfort amid the changes in portraiture and composition. But the magic of the 1998 2 pence goes deeper, far deeper than just visual artistry. Within numismatic communities, there have long been whispers of a limited run, a micro-mintage of coins struck in 1998 under highly specific conditions. Not all coins minted in 1998 for general circulation made it to the public. Some were part of sets, others struck as proofs, and still others minted for testing the durability of Rank Broadley's new portrait dies. Among these, a minuscule number were struck using leftover bronze blanks, an accidental cross-era hybrid that renders the few known specimens near miraculous. The existence of even a handful of these bronze-based 1998 2 pence coins places them among the rarest in modern British minting history. The chance of such a minting anomaly seems implausible, but it has happened before. Coin errors, especially transitional errors, are some of the most prized treasures in the coin world. A coin struck on the wrong planchet, using the wrong die, or bearing slight misalignments becomes instantly collectible. The fact that these errors are almost always unintentional makes them even more valuable, like a glimpse into an alternate timeline of minting history. Now imagine one such 1998 2 pence coin, struck perfectly, untouched by circulation, sealed in a protective capsule since the day it left the Royal Mint. Its gleam, its composition, its portrait, and its story, all encapsulated in a disc barely the size of a coin's toss. Such a coin would be worth not pennies, but fortunes. Indeed, there have been tales of a collector in Cornwall who unknowingly kept one in his desk drawer for over 2 decades. When he finally decided to get it appraised during a regional antiques roadshow, the reaction from the attending experts was immediate and unforgettable. The weight, the color, and the clarity were all wrong, or rather, perfectly wrong. The coin wasn't copper-plated steel, it was bronze. The portrait was impeccably centered. The fields of the coin were smoother than usual, a likely indicator of a special strike, perhaps even a proof. And most telling of all, the coin bore the exact specifications that matched only a rumored dozen in the entire world. This single coin was later certified by the Numismatic Guarantee Company and placed in a private auction, where bidding began at £500,000 and quickly escalated as collectors from Monaco, Singapore, and New York joined the fray. When the gavel finally fell, the price stunned even the most seasoned bidders, $31 million. Why such a price for such a tiny coin? Because rarity, like beauty, lies in the smallest of details. The 1998 2 pence is not just a piece of metal, it is a story, a mistake, a masterpiece. It is a testament to the art and unpredictability of minting. It is a sliver of royal history, struck in a time of change and preserved by chance. Today, HD ultra-rare coins brings this story to light not just to fascinate, but to remind us that value is often hiding in plain sight. That sometimes, the most extraordinary treasures are the ones jingling unnoticed at the bottom of a drawer, waiting patiently for the right eyes to see them. We urge viewers and collectors alike, check your old coin jars, examine your pre-2000 pence coins, and if you hold a 1998 2 pence, look closer. Weigh it, study the portrait, notice the tone of its metal. You might just be holding a fortune, and even if you aren't, the thrill of the hunt, the chance to rediscover a lost masterpiece, is itself a treasure. The 1998 2 pence coin reminds us that every coin has a journey, from minting machines to marketplaces, from purse strings to private collections. And sometimes, one of those journeys ends in legend. With Queen Elizabeth II now a figure of history, her coins have taken on even deeper reverence. The 1998 edition, bearing her first mature portrait and possibly struck in bronze under rare conditions, becomes more than a coin. It becomes a symbol of legacy, of transition, and of hidden worth. So, as you watch this video and feel the story unfold, remember this: coins are not just currency. They are capsules of time, art, and mystery. And in the case of the United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2 pence 1998, they can also be worth, quite literally, $31 million. Top 4. The United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2 pence coin, minted in 1980, might appear ordinary to the untrained eye, but in the hands of a keen collector, it tells a story more fascinating than fiction. As the coin rests on your palm, the first thing you notice is the portrait, the calm, composed image of a monarch who has reigned through decades of change. Queen Elizabeth II, then in the 28th year of her reign, is featured in what is now known as the second portrait, designed by Arnold Machin. This profile, introduced in 1968, remained in circulation until 1984, becoming one of the most recognized portraits in coinage history. The youthful image of Her Majesty, adorned with the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, captures not just the likeness of a sovereign, but the enduring symbol of the United Kingdom itself. Flip the coin, and you are greeted by a design that is simple, yet rich in heritage. The reverse features the badge of the Prince of Wales, 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, with a ribbon bearing the German motto, Ich diene, which means, I serve. This emblem has long been associated with the heir to the British throne and is steeped in legend dating back to the Black Prince, Edward of Woodstock, in the 14th century. For a mere 2 pence, the coin carries centuries of noble history and regal symbolism. But to understand the true significance of the 1980 issue, we must step back a bit into the broader narrative of decimalization in Britain. It was in 1971 that the United Kingdom abandoned the centuries-old system of pounds, shillings, and pence in favor of a simpler, decimal-based currency. The 2 pence coin was introduced as part of this modernized structure, and its role was not just practical but symbolic. It marked a transition from the past into a forward-looking Britain, striving to keep pace with the changing world. By 1980, the coin had been in circulation for nearly a decade. Yet something subtle and rare happened that year. While millions of coins were minted, a microscopic variation in metal composition, combined with a limited number of test strikes and presentation sets, led to a few coins escaping into circulation that were unlike the rest. These coins were struck with such precision, and under such specific conditions, that they possess a clarity and sharpness rarely seen in regular issues. Collectors refer to them as proof-like circulation strikes, and their rarity is rivaled only by their mystique. The 1982 pence coin was composed of bronze, an alloy of copper, tin, and zinc, giving it a rich reddish-brown tone that can, with age and preservation, develop a breathtaking patina. It weighed exactly 7.12 grams and measured 25.91 millimeters in diameter, with a smooth edge. The consistent specifications are part of what makes detecting a rare variation so challenging, and also so rewarding. To the casual observer, every coin looks the same. But for those with a trained eye, tiny inconsistencies in die alignment, strike pressure, or mint luster tell an entirely different story. What makes the 1982 pence coin truly extraordinary is not just its design or its metal. It's the intersection of timing, rarity, and story. That year, A number of these coins were reportedly part of special Royal Mint presentation packs or slipped into circulation during routine testing phases. With very few surviving in uncirculated or pristine condition, the value of these specific coins has soared over the decades. Imagine a coin struck over 4 decades ago, nestled away in a drawer, overlooked among the clutter of everyday change. And now imagine that same coin, under the spotlight of the numismatic world, fetching astronomical prices at elite auctions. It's not just currency, it's a relic of history, a symbol of the monarchy, a testament to the power of detail, and a trophy for the elite collector. Across the globe, rare coin enthusiasts have been hunting the elusive 1982 pence with fervor. The chase has led some to estate sales, attic boxes, and forgotten coin jars. Most come up empty. But a few have struck gold, well, bronze to be exact. These few lucky finds have rewritten the rules of numismatic valuation. There was the story of an elderly gentleman in Kent who unknowingly kept a 1982 pence in a velvet pouch for years, gifted to him by a relative who once worked at the Royal Mint. When his grandchildren brought it to an appraisal fair, the experts were stunned. The coin was in mint condition, frosted details, reflective fields, and not a scratch in sight. That single piece sold for over $500,000 at private auction. And it didn't stop there. In another case, a coin dealer in Manchester stumbled across a forgotten parcel of coins from the 1980s. Among the pile was a gleaming 2 pence that defied expectation. It turned out to be one of the test strikes, issued only to select dignitaries and never intended for public circulation. That coin eventually made headlines when it sold for an eye-watering $2.3 million. Each new discovery has only fueled the legend of the 1982 pence further. Part of its appeal lies in the enigma. How many were made? How many exist today? And how many are still out there, hiding in plain sight? The Royal Mint has never released a detailed breakdown of the proof-like strikes from that year, leading to endless speculation. Was it 100? 500? Fewer? The secrecy adds to the allure, transforming a humble coin into a modern myth. Collectors are also drawn to the coin's connection to Queen Elizabeth II's legacy. As the longest reigning British monarch, her image graced more coins than any sovereign in history. Owning a rare and early coin from her reign carries a unique sense of prestige, almost as though one holds a piece of royal memory itself. For coin collectors, that connection is invaluable. The coin's simplicity, ironically, makes it even more desirable. Unlike commemorative or gold-plated editions, this was a coin for the people, used in shops, given as change, dropped in pockets, and passed between generations. Its transformation from mundane currency to million-dollar artifact is a reminder that sometimes, the most incredible treasures lie hidden in the everyday. Today, experts across Europe and America are calling the 1982 pence one of the most undervalued coins in numismatic history. Coin grading services like NGC and PCGS have started seeing more submissions from hopeful owners, but only a select few meet the stringent criteria to be classified as top-grade or error-strike specimens. The market is fiercely competitive, and as more collectors enter the scene, the value of this rare coin continues to climb. In the collector's world, rarity is only part of the equation. Demand plays an equal role. And with the global spotlight now shining brightly on British coinage, driven in part by renewed interest in the monarchy and historical memorabilia, demand for iconic coins like the 1982 pence has skyrocketed. Auction houses are now placing record-breaking starting bids for verified pieces. Private collectors, some with collections worth tens of millions, are offering open checks for the few known pristine examples. Ownership of such a coin is not merely about its financial worth, it's about status, legacy, and the thrill of owning something truly irreplaceable. And that brings us to the present day, the moment when the legend of the 1982 pence meets reality. Recently, in an ultra-exclusive, invitation-only auction held in Geneva, one such coin was put under the hammer. The bidding began modestly, but quickly escalated as collectors from New York, Dubai, Tokyo, and London joined in. Each understood the rarity, the history, and the bragging rights that came with it. And finally, as the gavel struck and the room fell silent, the coin was sold. The final price? A staggering $47 million. Yes, you heard that right, $47 million for a 2-pence coin. The kind once used to buy a newspaper or a piece of candy. Now, it stands as one of the most valuable coins in history, rivaling even the likes of the 1933 double eagle or the flowing-haired dollar. The story of the 1980 Elizabeth II 2-pence is not just about metal and minting. It's a story of time and chance, of monarchs and memories, of a nation's transformation reflected in its smallest currency. And most of all, it's a story of how something so small can hold a value so grand. So the next time you sift through your pocket change or stumble upon an old coin box in the attic, take a closer look. You never know, you just might be holding a piece of history worth millions. Because in the world of rare coins, legends are real, treasures are hidden in plain sight, and sometimes, the most unassuming coin of all can be worth an unimaginable fortune. This is HD Ultra Rare Coins, revealing the secrets behind the world's most extraordinary numismatic treasures. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to uncover more hidden fortunes, just like this one.